the paint. Got himself in trouble. Perry the steal. Excellent pass for Johnson, taking flight. Nick Johnson cuts the deficit to 13 points. Timeout taken by Mark Few.
How about the body control by the young fella? Terrific play. And then here in transition, turn out great body control there by Favre to avoid the charge. And then Nick Johnson looks like a wide receiver getting out in the open floor, floats it, finds it, and finishes. Zona showing some heart.
As you take a look, Greg, at some of the surprise teams around the country.
I tell you what, John Thompson III's really got Georgetown going. To me, the most impressive team in America has been Missouri. They have been dominant thus far early in the season. Virginia, great start as well. And Bruce Weber has really got the Illini playing some good basketball. Impressive win over this Gonzaga basketball team last week.
So here in Seattle, Arizona down by as many as 19. They've reeled off 6 straight. As we get contact here, Pango's bumped by Josiah Turner. But you said it during the break, Arizona needing to disrupt some of this Gonzaga offense and create some turnovers.
They really do, because they have struggled in the half court to create scoring opportunities off their offense. And so, therefore, you're going to have to try to turn Gonzaga over and get some opportunities in the open floor. And Mark Few has talked about it. They've really struggled at end of halves early on in the season with turnover and shot selection.
Well, Kevin Pango's trying to continue this lineage of great point guards out of Gonzaga. Tell us about the block.
Well, he's streaky from beyond. We've seen that, but more from within. I'd like to see him do a little more penetrating. He's starting to do it now, and then seasoning. He's just going to get better with each and every game that he plays.
So Pangos hits the second. And with 1:20 to play before halftime, Gonzaga with a 15-point lead. Johnson out of 5. Shot clock at 19. Jump pass, backdoor, Turner couldn't finish. And then Hart stepped out of bounds. Fans thought he was pushed. Arizona will get a fresh 35 with 62 seconds left.
Yeah, a little bit of contact there, but Turner unable to finish. But you're not going to get that call. There's not enough really to warrant a foul by the official.
Fogg inbounding to Johnson, and Arizona resets. Perry. Sandwich between Sacre and Harris, and here come the Bulldogs. Harris, the fast start is quieted down. His pass underneath deflected out. Bell controls. Now to Harris.
Wow. He is, if he's making those, Phil, he's unguardable. He's knocking it down from beyond the arc.
17 points. And Gonzaga's lead is 18. Johnson had it poked away. Perry recovers. Fogg, a nice fake. Too strong. And now Pangos and Gonzaga can hold for the final shot with 10 seconds left. Sellout crowd here in Seattle, all standing as Gonzaga has been dominant. Down to 1 second. Bell for 3. Ready to blow the roof off this place as Gonzaga will take an 18-point lead in a halftime. And that's the end of the first half with your score, Gonzaga 39, Arizona 21. We now go to New York and Tim Brando. Well, wow. Sean clearly impressed with what he's seen so far from Mark Few's team.
You know, you can talk all the X and O's you want. At the end of the day, it comes down to competing. The fact Gonzaga played 10 guys in that first half, all 10 got at least 1 rebound. So that tells you that they're bringing the pain from an intensity standpoint and activity standpoint.
They've out-rebounded them. They have been the physical team in the paint. As we take a look at our Lexus first half stats, Gonzaga simply dominant.
And really, it's all about the rebound. It's the paint. I always tell people there's a reason why they put 3 seconds in the paint, because ultimately that's where games are going to be decided. That has clearly been the case here in the first half. And then the one guy who set the tone, ironically, from beyond the arc, as he hit his first shot with the 3, but then he got back to doing what he normally does. Elias Harris down low. You know, I go back to his freshman year when he burst on the scene. He was a dominant force on the interior. He really did set the tone for them here early on in this first half.
Harris, 17 points in 17 minutes. Had hit 2 threes all year coming into today. And has hit a couple of them in this game. What a showing in that first half, as Gonzaga with possession looking to build on a double-digit lead.
I expect a little more intensity from Arizona here in this second half. I'm sure Coach Miller had a word or two for his young men.
Mike Hart, the former walk-on, now to Pangos. Gonzaga 6-2 coming in, a Thursday win at home over Oral Roberts, setting the table for today. Gary Bell misfires, Hart keeps it alive, and a fresh 35 for the Bulldogs.
What did Coach Miller talk about at halftime? The intensity. The intensity. Loose ball battles being won by Gonzaga. They're just far more intense here in this first half.
Well, Harris just out-muscling his way to the rim. He's got 19 points, biggest lead for the Bulldogs. Mike Hart a minute ago, his 5th offensive rebound today. Nice dribble drive and finish right to the rim by Kyle Fogg. Fogg averaging 11 points per game coming in today. Greg, just 4.
Yeah, they have not integrated him into the offense, which has hurt them from a spacing standpoint, because he's the one guy that stretches the defense.
This is Hart for 3. Fogg maintaining possession, a minute 30 gone by. Arizona in an 18-point hole. Perry will hit the 3 from time to time. Rebound there by Sacre.
Good defensive transition on that possession there for Arizona. You got to keep Gonzaga in the half court. They shoot it too well. They pass it too well to give them the easy looks.
Harris misfiring for 3, then Sacre the easy putback dunk. And it's a 20-point game. Sacre, Gonzaga's leading scorer, coming in 6 points today. And Sean Miller will burn a timeout.
Elias here, great post position. He's got a mouse in the house. Able to finish up over the top, and then sometimes the ball just bounces your way. Robert Sacre in the right place at the right time with the finish. Zags by 20.
Penetration, blocked underneath. Cavalry got it to go. Gonzaga once again has proven they are legit. It's Goodson. Oh! Dimitri Goodson! That's it!
Well, Gonzaga, some of their signature wins over the years for Mark Few's program. Some of the other Cinderellas around the country. Jim Larinaga, of course, moving on from George Mason, but the Patriots off to a 7-3 start.
You know, not a bad find getting Paul Hewitt. I know he's a former assistant at Fordham.
Yes.
Butler, big win. You know, that game today for Butler may get them back on the path to playing some excellent basketball. They tend to start slow, folks. VCU, Shaka Smart, remember that vintage Final Four run from a season ago?
Shaka Smart, one of the young, bright coaches, of course, around the country. That incredible run in the NCAA tournament last March. So just over 2 minutes gone by here in Seattle, second half. And Arizona in a 20-point hole.
And if you're Arizona right now, you're not really focusing on the score. It's just about, let's start executing. Let's just start getting some type of rhythm here on the offensive end, taking care of business defensively, and see if we can get back into the game.
Well, tomorrow on Survivor, it's down to 3 tribal councils and 2 suspense-filled hours. Don't miss the season finale and live reunion show tomorrow, only CBS. See the rebounding discrepancy in this game. The paint has been owned by Mark Few's Bulldogs. Dick Johnson, highly touted freshman, bottled up for most of the day. Solomon Hill setting up Turner for 3.
And that's one of the first times Solomon Hill looked to penetrate for someone else. You know, he's really forced it a little bit, I thought, in that first half. That time, the penetration forces the help, and then the nice find for the deep.
So 5 points for Turner, the freshman from Sacramento, cutting the deficit to 17 points. Gary Bell on the wing, defended by Turner. Sacre stepping out, shot clock at 14 seconds. Sacre. Bell, nice pump fake. Sacre falling away, and he'll step for the free throw line. Well, Arizona 7-3 coming in. All three of their losses very close against some very top-level competition.
I tell you what, that Mississippi State team, one of the big surprises of the season thus far. San Diego State as well. They lost 4 starters from last year, but I tell you what, Coach Fisher's got them playing some excellent basketball. We know how good Florida is returning that backcourt. They had a great run in the tournament a season ago for Billy Donovan, who a nice little extension this year for the Gators.
This is Mike Hart, shot clock at 20. Here's Pangos. Fight for it at the block. And the possession arrow favoring Sean Miller's Wildcats.
You know what? The intensity a little better here in the second half for Arizona. And they're just trying to, you know, find something positive, something to get them going. And it's going to be tough because while both their guards are very talented, talking about Turner and Johnson, neither really a true point guard. And so it's going to be a little bit more of a learning curve for them and this team at times. You can see them play inconsistent.
Well, this is finals week, or was finals week, for both of these teams. Coaches in college always a concern for them at this time of year, trying to juggle academics and basketball. Arizona off since last Saturday, so they have the advantage. Gonzaga had to play Thursday night as a whistle blown here against the Bulldogs. And we will get a timeout. CBS Sports coverage of NCAA men's basketball continues after this message and a word from your local station. Murray State, of course, that improbable run through the NCAA tournament a couple of years back, 2010. And Solomon Hill, who has had an off game to say the least at the free throw line, just 2 points, has missed 6 of his 7 field goal attempts. Well, coming Wednesday to Showtime, it's a game of honor from the classrooms in West Point and Annapolis to their military training and on the football field. Unprecedented access to see what it takes to be a cadet and a midshipman. Find out what makes the Army-Navy game one of the greatest rivalries in sport. It's a game of honor Wednesday at 10 Eastern, only on Showtime. Kyle Fogg, a brief rest back into the game at the 15:55 mark of the second half. And Arizona down 43-28. Arizona just 3 free throws attempted all day. This is Elias Harris. Start today for the Bulldogs. Pangos bottled up. Look out. Between Turner and Yasko.
You know, he had an opportunity to attack here. We talked about on his blog, his more from within. And you watch when he turns his corner. As a point guard, you get in the lane, you want to be able to make that pass in traffic. Now, he does draw the foul. But as a point guard, your bigs are going to be more aggressive to the rim when you can get in there, force help, and find for the easy.
Pangos, the freshman, Canadian-born point guard. At 16 years of age, Greg, he joined the Canadian senior men's national team. What a background for this young man. Scored 33 points and hit 9 threes in just his 3rd game as a collegian earlier this season.
Starting just to play with more poise. He can get lights out from beyond, but really it's his ability to set the table for his teammates as the season progresses, which is going to determine how successful a season the Zags have.
Johnson.
Now he's got that mid-range. He can come off that pick and roll and knock it down from 15 feet with consistency.
9 points for Nick Johnson. It's 45-30 Gonzaga. Gary Bell against Turner. We hit the 15-minute mark of the second half. Can Arizona claw their way back? Shot clock at 10 from Mike Hart. Pangos a 3. Harris a one-handed rebound and a fresh 35.
Just working a little harder. And in all fairness, Arizona really, that's been the Achilles heel at times all season, the inability to control that defensive backboard.
13 offensive rebounds for the Bulldogs. Wild shot by